right, good morning. It's Saturday. I don't know what the date is. I guess the 18th. Just got in the shop this morning, and I was listening to some podcasts and stuff like that on my way into work, and it got me thinking that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about woodworking and how woodworking is something that can really help our country, right? It can really help our civilization. And what I mean by that is that, like the title of this live, is woodworking can save you. It sounds a little kind of ridiculous, but it's kind of true. I mean, we look at what's going on in our country, and it's there's just a lot of digital everything, right? People are living kind of in the virtual world, and they're not really living in reality much. And I think that woodworking and working with your hands is the thing that's going to kind of bring us back to reality. Bring us back to what it means to create things and make things beautiful in the world. And working with your hands is the thing that's, like I said, it's going to do it. A person that works on their car, appreciates what it means to work on their car, and people around you that see that you work on your car, people respect that, they appreciate that. When you build furniture, same thing. People see something that you built, they might say, oh, well, that thing's kind of a piece of crap, but they appreciate the fact that you made it, right? There's a genuine interest there. Like, oh man, how did you make this? This is pretty cool. Where did you make this? Why did you make this? All these things. It's a good thing. People that work with their hands think differently. And that's, one of the things that, we need to talk about is that society needs to change how it thinks, man. We're like, all we do is fight, and all we do is objectify, and all we do is we're basically just a bunch of shit talkers, and it's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the people around you, and it needs to change. So go back to the title. Working with the hands is going to save you. It's very true. So I heard this statement this morning on this podcast, and I hear it when they said this. I got to thinking, like, man, I hear this all the time. And it's basically stay in your lane, let the experts do what they're good at, you do what you're good at. And I think, fuck that, no way. The reason my dad was so awesome is my dad could do anything, right? You might say, oh yeah, but he probably wasn't very good at anything, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. And it doesn't matter. Like, I looked up to my dad. I wanted to do what my dad did. I ended up doing, in a way, what my dad did, which is work with my hands. I think all these people that send their kids to school, they're doing a disservice to their family, to their legacy, to what it means to be specifically a man. It's like, what are you doing? If you're, everyone says they want their kids to have it better than they had it, and like it's changing. Like people need to. I think people do realize that is changing. Like, this is probably going to be the first generation of people who are not going to have it better than the people before them, and that's too bad. I think a big part of that is because people spend too much time on their phones. People spend too much time working in offices. People spend too much time crunching numbers. Everyone's a consultant or a scientist or a psychologist. Everyone's an ist. It's like, I think it's a problem. And I know it's not a popular thing to talk about, because I'm sure a lot of people that watch these YouTube reels and shorts and videos and all that kind of stuff, a lot of people do those jobs, and I get it, and in your spare time, maybe you want to work with your hands, but you can't make money with it, so you gotta, do the ist thing so that you can, make it in the world, But here's the thing, and I talked about this before a little bit. People that work with their hands and that are jacks of all trades and master of none, like, we don't need to spend, shit tons of money on everything. We don't have to spend, gobs of money at the mechanic, gobs of money, with the carpenter, gobs of money, with the financial advisor, gobs of money with everybody, that doesn't do what we do, right? Because we do everything. We might not do it as good as the professionals, but it don't have to. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Like I don't need to pay someone to redo the deck on my house, right? Like My deck is, I got a 3-story deck, right? I got one deck on the top of my house that's, I want to say it's 16 by about 16, you know, so whatever that is, you know, 320 square feet. The deck below that, it's 1,500 square feet. It's huge because my house overlooks the Mississippi River, okay? The deck below that is probably 500 square feet, you know, because again, everything overlooks the Mississippi. The house was built to overlook the Mississippi River, you know, and I don't have to pay someone. Could I? Sure. But I don't have it in me because I value money, right? I don't need some financial advisor to tell me, you know, where to put my money. You know, I'm just not going to give it to somebody else, you know, and the cynic says, yeah, well, but you'll make more money doing this other thing. It's like, so? Who gives a shit? The point in life isn't to make money. You know, money is a byproduct of doing something really well. And we've deluded ourselves into thinking that, you know, we can only do one thing because it's the only thing that we're going to make money at. And if I don't do this one thing, then I'm going to be poor, right? And it's not true, man. It's not true. You know, it's like, I grew up in Oregon, never graduated high school, never went to college, worked as a tradesman building cabinets for private aircraft for almost 20 years. Led to a great life, you know, high 5 figures, most of it, low 6 figures, some of it. And then I got my own company, right? I met my wife. My wife has 2 degrees, you know, and she elected to marry a guy who has 0 degrees and is essentially dumb by today's standards, you know, but you know, now I got a 20,000 square foot shop. I got lots of employees. We make beautiful furniture. My wife says, you know, oh, we need to fix the deck, you know, and she wants to pay someone, and me being, I just don't have it in me. Fuck that. I'm gonna fix the deck. Oh, but we can work on other things. Like, nope, not happening. No one else is working on my home. Oh, well, it's so big. It's so big. Like, great, I'll bring one of my employees here. We'll work on the deck together. You know, again, if you work with your hands, you can do all kinds of stuff, you know. My wife drives a brand new Tesla. You know, I hate that fucking thing. You know, I drive I've shown in my videos, I drive an old Volkswagen Touareg from 2004, big V8 engine, you know, all-wheel drive, all these kind of things. You know, I think I paid $4,000 for it. I've done all the work to it. It runs fine. Is it perfect? No. But again, I don't need a financial advisor to tell me that I don't need to drive expensive vehicles everywhere, that I don't need a financial advisor to tell me, you know, what to do with my money, right? Because yeah, I don't waste it. I don't spend it on dumb shit because I'm always doing something, right? Like, you're not going to catch me on my phone all day, you know, looking at TikTok and Twitter, you know, because I got too much other shit going on. Like, I got a house to work on, I got cars to work on, I got a business to run, you know, like whatever. Like, this is what makes men, you know, and we need to get back to doing more of that, you know. So these people that think, you know, that their goal is to live in one of these big cities, you know, like Austin or New York, or maybe want to do the nightlife thing in Miami, you know, like if that's what you're wanting to do, man, I challenge you, like, do better. Like, do better. You know, I hear these people, I got, you know, people in my family that make, you know, high 6 figures, you know, and they bitch about the cost of homes, you know. It's like, well, get out of the big city. Like, stop competing with all these people. Take your skills somewhere else. Go work on your house a little bit, you know, and you could buy a really nice house in a really nice area that, you know, needs a little bit of work, you know, but you got to be willing to do the work, you know, and that's the thing. Like, you got to work with your hands, you know. Working with your hands and being willing to do the work, you know, is going to save you, man. It's going to save you from what society is becoming, you know, and you're going to pass that down to your kids, you know, you're going to pass that down to the people around you, and it's going to make your world better. It just will, you know. And I know I sound like an old man or whatever, you know, I'm 44 years old, but, you know, it's, again, work with your hands. If you're always working, if you're always moving and doing things, you know, it's hard to get in trouble. You know, it's hard to spend shit tons of money when you're always working on the things, you know, that are in your orbit, you know. So again, why do you need a financial planner to tell you how to save your money, how to spend your money? You know, my car breaks down, I fix my car. You know, say, well, maybe you don't have time. It's like, well, no, I probably don't have time, but guess what? I got more than one car. You know, I'll go drive another car until I fix this thing. You know, I don't need to pay people. Why would I pay a mechanic $75 an hour when I can do it myself? And I learn something, and I show people around me what I'm doing. Like, you make your world better. You know, when my wife says, I want a new kitchen, she's like, I'm gonna go buy a new kitchen. Again, me being me, like, no, you're not. Like, I got a furniture making company. You know, it's like, I'll make that furniture. You know, it's, oh, you don't have time. You can make more money building furniture than building kitchens. Like, well, yeah, but I'm not gonna let another man work on my house, especially something on the inside. If I gotta look at it every day, there ain't no fucking way you're coming into my house and gonna make everything for me. Like, I don't have it in me. Don't have it in me. You know, and more people need to not have that shit in them. You know, if everyone does everything around you and all you do is make money on your phone or on your computer or in some office and you never get out and do anything, you know, challenge you. You know, you need to do more, do better. There's more to life than making money. There's more to life than, you know, the time that you spend with your friends after the you know, sun goes down. You know, there's more to life than, you know, being out around the masses. You know, there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of growth that comes in doing solitary things that people don't necessarily see. You know, doing solitary things that, you know, hone your skills, that improve your life and the people around you's lives. You know, so anyway, I know I'm probably rambling at this point, but point is you know, working with your hands is really important, and if you want to get good at, I think getting good at many things is probably better than being good at one thing. As you get older in life, you know, there's this 10,000 hour rule. There's a lot of things you can get really good at as you get older in life, you know. So anyway, try some things, you know, make things better around you, you know, hone your skills, you know, get to taking things apart, putting things back together, you know, making new things, you know, destroy something and then try and figure out how to build it, you know. And when it comes time to really struggle, like, don't call somebody, you know, call somebody for advice, call somebody, you know, for wisdom, but don't call them to do it for you. Like, our society does, I mean, here I go again, okay? Cooking, like, fuck me, like everyone uses Instacart to go get groceries. Everyone uses DoorDash, Grubhub, all these services, you know, that bring everything to you. It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, make something, make some food. You know, make your wife a meal, make your husband a meal. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you're not a lesser person because you make things, right? Like, I think of like the making clothes thing, you know, and I used to, you know, people would frown upon that when I grew up. That was that was still kind of a thing, you know, where people would, you know, hem their own clothes, you know, repair things with patches on clothes, and it wasn't trendy to have fucked up clothes. Like, our clothes were fucked up. We had to fix them. It's very different. Now they actually make them in a disheveled or a deteriorated state and then charge a premium for it. Like, what the hell is going on? You know, it's like everyone is just like, they've just figured out how to sell you on the most retarded stuff. So anyway, yeah, I need to stop. I need to go to work because it's Saturday. You know, this is day, I don't know how many days in a row I've worked. Like, I don't take days off. I can't even think of the last day I took off. You know, I think my wife had Wednesday and Thursday off, and I spent time with her Wednesday, but I also came to the shop. I spent time with her Thursday, came to the shop. You know, so it's just a life. Like, we're constantly busy, we're constantly making things, you know, and it's hard to get in trouble when you're constantly moving, and it's hard to be broke and poor when you're constantly working and stuff. Like, I know there's a lot of people that disagree with me. Oh, not everyone has your opportunities. Not everyone, blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck that. Fuck that. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, have no education, and I figured out how to make it work. You know, we can all figure out how to make things work. And I'm telling you, from my experience as a 44-year-old man who had multiple dads, you know, broken homes, all that kind of shit, like, you find something, you work on it, and you keep working on it. And when things break, when things go wrong, you figure out how to do them. You figure out how to fix them. And with this YouTube thing, holy hell, it's amazing what you can learn. It's like amazing what you could do if you really apply yourself. Yeah, like, money ain't everything, y'all. Like, working with these things, gonna make you a lot happier. You're gonna be a lot less stressed. You're going to Like I said, you're gonna have a sense of pride that you've never felt before. You're gonna feel like you can conquer the world, because when shit happens, and inevitably it is gonna happen, like you're just like, meh, throw it on the list, I'll get it fixed, I'll get it taken care of, I know what to do. You know, whereas now I imagine a lot of people are just anxiety ridden all the time, you know, because everything is so expensive. You know, if you want to have your car worked on, like you gotta wait for that person to work on your car. Then you gotta pay them, you know, what they want, which is very expensive. You know, same thing with your house, your apartment, whatever. Like you're just always waiting on people to do shit for you. You know, like do it yourself, figure it out. Everything will be better in your life, I promise. So anyway, I'm going to work. Bye.